Let's take this across to our guest. With us is Rajalakshmi Joshi, political analyst. Gurmukh Chaudhary, advocate and political analyst, also joins us on the broadcast. Let me start with you first. Rajalakshmi Chaudhary, allegation of the opposition coming out that with this kind of, not allowing Rahul Gandhi to speak or action being taken against him, even demands of it coming in at least from some MPs of the BJP, that he is once again being silenced, and that just proves the point that he was making earlier in London. Your response?
Is that for me, Madhav?
Yes.
Okay. I think the BJP is very well within their rights to demand Mr. Rahul Gandhi's apology, because he has gone completely beyond limits. He has actually sought international intervention, and that too from specific countries. See, the Congress may deny it all they like, but then at specific points, he has very specifically said that this entire chunk, which is almost 3 times the size of Europe, has completely gone off democracy. And what are the powers to be? That is the US and the UK. What are they doing? And that they have not taken notice, and that they are completely silent about it, and they are not responding, and they have not reacted. So what is this reaction that he is looking for? That reaction, he needs to explain. He needs to apologize for asking for a reaction from these powers. So, this is like indirectly asking for an intervention from these countries. It is asking for some kind of sanctions from these countries. It is asking for them to take strict action against our country. And that is exactly what the BJP is against. And right. I think that he definitely needs to not just explain this, he needs to apologize, because no elected representative should go out of the country and ask for external intervention.
Okay, let Gurmukh Chaudhary come in on that. Now, Gurmukh Chaudhary, he's gone abroad and undermined the institution of the parliament, and therefore Rajalakshmi Joshi believes that the BJP is well within its right to demand his apology.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me here. Very clearly, first, Mr. Gandhi has not asked US or UK or any other Western power to, interfere, come with their forces or overthrow the government. They are just blowing this out of the proportion now. Second, it's the third day when the parliament has been adjourned.
The parliament
is being run by taxpayers' money. So they cannot have it for the right if they have a brute majority. They should go on with their business. They are ruling the government. They are ruling the country. They need to very well stay within the constitutional framework and discharge the functions that they are, supposed to do as per the mandate of the people. It's not that if Mr. Gandhi has said something, they will stop working altogether. If today on Times Now, I say something which does not go well with Times Now, that doesn't mean Times Now will say कि गुरमुख अब हम काम ही नहीं करेंगे, चैनल नहीं चलाएंगे, न्यूज़ नहीं दिखाएंगे क्योंकि आपने ऐसे बोल दिया. I am only
the point that is being made, sir. One second.
Mr. Gandhi is only a member of parliament.
While you may be partially true that he has not asked for them to come with their forces, it is also a fact that he said that why are EU and US oblivious to the fact that large parts of India democracy is dead or is dying? Something to that effect. I don't have the exact quote, but he did use the word oblivious. Now, if somebody is oblivious, obviously, one second.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Rajalakshmi Chaudhary wants to ask you that question. Yes, Rajalakshmi Chaudhary, you have the exact quote with you, so I'm going to allow you to quickly comment on that.
Madhav, it's Rajalakshmi Joshi.
I'm sorry, Rajalakshmi Joshi.
At exactly at 28 minutes, he has said, how would you react if something 3.5 times the size of Europe suddenly went non-democratic? That's happened already, but there is no reaction. If we are talking about Europe, that's the thing that shocks me. There is no reaction. And there are, of course, reasons for not reacting, such as trade and money, but Indian democracy is a public good. The surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, such as the United States and European countries, seem to be completely oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come under. It is a real problem. The opposition is fighting that battle. This is exactly what he has said.
When
what
someone is
saying that these powers have not taken any reaction and that they are oblivious. What does he mean by saying?
And even alleged that it could be because of the trade ties. That's also part of that quote.
He has explained. He has explained within that.
Okay, yeah, Gurmukh Chaudhary. What does oblivious mean, sir? What does oblivious mean here?
Are you asking me for the literal definition of the word oblivious?
It means that they're calling for action. Does it not?
So
what intervention? Do they want sanctions? Do you want sanctions against our country? By the way,
he's not gone down that path wherein he said stop trading with India, bring in your forces,
against our country, but
impose
they went
sanctions
back
on
on
India.
it because they
He was
found
very well making only
Indian
one statement, that you cannot stay oblivious to the fact that the democratic framework and the constitutional framework and democratic institutions are under attack in the Modi government. That's all he said.
What action was being sought, sir?
I will reiterate my point. You cannot stop functioning. You cannot bring the parliament to a halt just because he has said something.
Mr. Chaudhary, what action is being sought?
The mandate of the people if you are not letting the parliament work.
No, you are entitled to your opinion. The Congress is entitled to. The BJP is entitled to its opinion. It feels that by asking on foreign soil for an intervention, by saying that you can't be oblivious, the implied meaning is that you are demanding some kind of action. And if you are asking for action,
why was he not allowed to speak in the parliament today then? Then if he goes on and says that they don't let me speak in the parliament,
the speaker said that he will allow everybody to speak. Yes, okay. Rajalakshmi Joshi, why were the mics muted then? That's a question that Congress has asked following today's session. Why were then, if he is being allowed to speak, doesn't that once again prove the point that Rahul Gandhi is making? That's the question that they've said. Why were the mics muted today?
Today there was too much of a commotion and nothing was going as it should be, and that is the reason why the mics were muted. And I am not really clear about that part of it. But then today there was too much of a concern, and today it's just a matter of Mr. Rahul Gandhi explaining what he exactly meant by the word reaction by all these forces. It's a simple thing, but look at the kind of arrogance that they say there is no question of an apology, whereas he should have, as a responsible elected representative, he should have said that this is what I meant. He doesn't even have the courtesy to say that. He doesn't feel that that's necessary to be explained.
Or a debate.
What does he mean by saying any of this? What should the powers exactly understand by what he says?
Just to deflect from these issues, they are having this commotion in the parliament and not letting it function properly.
Okay, it's all an attempt to deflect from Adani issue. That's the claim coming from Mr. Chaudhary. Would you like to respond to that, Rajalakshmi Joshi?
No, like I said, Mr. Hindenburg's report, the Hindenburg report is again, it's a very questionable report. And I don't think that on the basis of that, they can actually demand a JPC. A JPC should in fact be asked for something like this statement by Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Ma'am, if there is a JPC that has gone into Ketan Parekh, a JPC into 2G, where there are allegations, and certainly there are allegations, but serious ones at that, where they're alleging some kind of governmental, either lack of oversight or allegations even of wrongdoing that are now coming in from the opposition's part. So why not investigate the entire matter? You can even investigate what Mr. Adani or those companies' ties were with the governments that were there in previous regimes. But can the plea for an investigation be taken so lightly? Whether it's JPC or it's a ED probe, whatever it may be, why not probe the matter? Why is the government not ordering a probe is a question that opposition is asking.
Madhav, as far as the ED probe is concerned, or as a JPC as they are talking about, I'm sure there are definitely certain procedures which are
Okay, we lost that line there. But yeah, Gurmukh Chaudhary, Rajalakshmi Joshi's point is that, the opposition too has been adamant on a probe on Adani. And therefore, and while I certainly don't believe that even if there are two wrongs or if there are serious issues that are being asked for, from the opposition side for the government to take action, Parliament is a place to actually go ahead and demand accountability of the government. But certainly the government at least believes that Mr. Gandhi on foreign soil making these comments has been something that, where there's been a precedent. When Indira Gandhi, for instance, post-emergency was asked questions abroad in Europe, she similarly said that these are internal issues. So, discussing internal issues on foreign soil is a very slippery slope. Unfortunately, Mr. Gandhi at some level or the other is perceived, at least by a section of our political parties and leaders, to have fallen down that slope.
So, bottom line is that very well so, I'll reiterate my point. The parliament should continue to function. You cannot bring the constitutional machinery to a halt just because one member of parliament has said something which has not gone down well with you on a foreign soil. Second, he has a right to speak his mind. And he also said during one of his meetings in London at Chatham House, wherein he said that it is an internal matter and the solution certainly has to come from inside. And I quote this from Indian Express, wherein the entire his entire interview was captured at Chatham House. So it's not that he's demanding foreign intervention in terms of sanctions or in terms of military intervention or any intervention of that sorts.
The very fact that he had to clarify the comment after 2 days, the very fact that he had to, March 4th make one statement and March 6th come out and give a clarification that these are internal issues that will be managed inside India, that itself has raised some amount of questions, and that also raises questions as to why he had to clarify in the first place. If he did clarify over there, why not clarify his position over here? But of course, Mr. Gandhi saying that he will do so in Parliament if given a chance. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. Rajalakshmi Joshi as well as Gurmukh Chaudhary. Certainly, this isn't the end of this entire controversy, and all eyes on Monday when at 11 o'clock once again both houses of Parliament will reconvene.